Hello, Eric. Is it Eric or Patrick? Hi, Pam. Hi, Pam. Hi, Ula. You're muted.
Oh, there we go.
Can you hear us? Like, because I don't have a really good, okay, good. You can mute me now. Thank you.
It says you're Scott Murphy.
It says I am?
Yeah, I see that. Right there. We're categorized as Scott Murphy.
How do
Oh,
we,
that's Patty.
Yes,
how do we change
I-
that?
With the mask, I couldn't
I
tell.
know.
So on your picture, if you go to yourself and then click, when you scroll over it, I think you should see 3 dots in the top right corner.
Yep.
If you click on that and there's a drop down, rename, and it'll let you type in your name.
Ah,
You're good.
Leisha, I have a favor to ask.
Oh,
If this looks like it's going to go over 2 hours,
yeah.
can you alert Fred that the next program on Okemo Valley TV will need to get bumped?
Will what?
It'll need to get bumped. The next program following this will need to get bumped if this goes over 2
Yeah.
hours. Hey, did you hear that?
Yeah, I got the Slack thread.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
I was at dinner, so I didn't get the Slack, but okay.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll keep an eye on things. And if we
Great.
got to bump it, we'll bump it.
I got to find the agenda.
Right here.
I have it somewhere. It's probably in my email.
got an issue to talk about?
Okay.
Fred will be here.
Great. We're already live on YouTube, by the way. So just so you guys know, what you're saying is going out on YouTube.
Lisa, do you want to
Yes?
mute us? Do you want to mute us?
I can't mute you. You can mute yourself.
Right there.
Got it.
For anyone that has just joined us, we are already live on YouTube. For anyone that wants to rename themselves, you can hover over your picture with your cursor if you're on a computer, and the 3 dots in the top right corner has a drop down that lets you rename yourself.
Eric, how you doing?
Doing good. I have about 1 million windows open here.
Really?
Yeah, and still letting people in. Home
Right.
style hostel. Who wants to guess that's Justin?
Yep.
There we go. Patty. Eric, do you have a flag? I
I
got one.
I do have a flag.
Okay.
That's the flag I have.
Nice. You want to let me know when it's 6?
I think you're good to go at 6 o'clock.
Eric, you all set?
Yeah, I'm set.
Okay. All right. All right, 6 o'clock. I'm going to call the meeting to order. We've gone over the electronic meeting guidelines several times. I don't think we need to do that again tonight, but we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, first order of business is to do the annual board reorganization. I'll open it up to elect a nomination to elect the chair of the board.
Make a motion to approve Bruce as chair.
We have Bruce nominated. Does anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
Heather, second that. Any other nominations? All those in favor of Bruce being elected chair of the board, say aye.
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 Those opposed? The ayes have it. Bruce, it's your board.
Thank you. I appreciate the support. All right, next item is to elect a vice chair. I make a motion that we elect Brett.
I'll second that.
Second. Any further discussion?
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, elect clerk of the board.
I'll make a motion to nominate Justin as clerk.
Oh, you're crazy. Look at you. Okay.
Second.
Justin?
There's a second. That was pretty quick. All right, you get that, Alicia? You're on mute, but I think it was Scott seconded it. Okay. Justin, I assume you're okay with that? Okay, we're not even gonna ask you. You're on mute. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye,
Aye.
Aye.
ayes have it. Justin, you're clerk of the board.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, union negotiating team. It's been Brett and I. If there's anyone else that would like to step in, it's always good to have a second. I don't know if there's, maybe is police up this year?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Then if there's really nothing there, then I might recommend that Brett and I stay on until there is a negotiation, then we perhaps have another team, because it's always good to get a different team and look at things differently. You okay with that, Brett?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Good. Everyone else all right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ludlow Enterprise, Heather and Brett.
I'm good.
I'm good staying on it as well.
Okay. All right. Set day and time of regular meeting and alternate meetings. I think we're okay with keeping the Monday and alternate is the third Monday. Everyone okay with that?
Bruce,
Yes, Leisha?
it doesn't list 6 o'clock. Do you want to continue at 6?
Yes, 6 o'clock.
Thank you.
Well, I say that, I probably should ask the board. Is everyone okay with that?
I'm fine.
Yep.
I'm good.
Yeah, I think, okay. All right. We've appointed the recording secretary. That's not even a discussion. Designate newspaper of general circulation, Vermont Journal and the Rutland Herald. Any, Scotty, is that what you would recommend?
I would, yes.
There was in the, in our packets, there was what the Vermont Journal charges. Okay. So that's, and then adopt Robert's Rules of Order. Okay. Any changes, additions, or removals of the agenda? Anyone has?
No changes, Bruce. Just a reminder that we will have a short executive session.
Okay. First order is approve minutes from the meeting of March 2nd.
So moved for March 2nd.
Second.
There's second by Justin. Okay. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, I was just going to wonder, Scott, since I think Pam and Patty were there together, and I'm wondering if the board is okay with moving item number 14 up to, like maybe right after number 7. Everyone okay with that?
Yes. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, so we'll make that move. All right, comments from citizens. Are there any? Okay. We're just kind of going through and see if there was anything that anyone raised their hand, or there's nothing in the chat, so. All right, appoint town officers. We have a list. Scott, do you want to go over that? Or,
Yeah, you should have a list in your packet. It has all the candidates and a few open positions. There's the Mount Scottney Transportation Advisory Committee alternate, which says open. That's actually myself. And Sharon Bixby is the first rep. So, but other than that, the other ones are all listed right there for you.
good. Have we advertised these paid positions?
We've advertised all positions. Yes, it's difficult to get volunteers, as you know.
But should we make more of an effort to advertise the health officer and the animal control officer?
Yes, we can do that. Yeah, I'll make more effort at that.
And if no one else is going to step up, I'll be the third fence viewer.
Okay.
All right, we will need a motion on the slate that's been presented.
I'll make a motion. We take the slate as presented.
Good. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, second by Heather. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone else? I didn't really
Aye.
hear anybody.
Sorry, my mute button's messing up really bad.
Good. Opposed? Okay. Motion passes. So I think we were gonna just slide in the transfer station position right here. Let's work on that right now. Go ahead, Scott, Patty, you guys are all in this.
Sure. So thank you, Patty, for joining us tonight. We've had a big increase in volume of materials and a large increase in customer traffic, as you can imagine, with a lot of influx of second homeowners who have stayed around semi-permanently now. And Patty's lost Ted, who had retired. He was a part-timer, and his decrease, the loss of him, and plus a combination of increased volume of customers has really maxed out or stressed out our staff capacity. And Patty's not getting younger. It's a really physical, it's the physical role. And this is not something that's just come up temporarily. This has been building for the last couple of years. I've just been holding off on coming to you for the request for a full-time position. So you should have in your packets the memo that lays out certain costs, the costs that would be associated with the addition of the full-time position. And we actually do have a person that's on staff now. Seth is a young man, energetic, and likes his role. We actually kind of stole him from Londonderry, and he does a great job over there. So he's the person we'd like to slide up into a full-time role if possible. So Patty, I'll let you jump in here if you want to add stuff to that.
Well, like you already said, the volume of residents, it's been a year. We've got 100 new homeowners, and I don't know the last couple of weeks, but they're staying, which is increased trash. They're not elderly people moving here. They're people with at least 2 children. It has doubled everything we take in. In the 11 years I've been here, I have never sent out cardboard twice a month. Just the increase in trying to keep up with cleaning and doing our job. Compost is, it's a trying thing. It takes time, but we've saved a lot of money doing this. And we're going to continue it, but it does take 2 people, and we've been digging it by hand. A little tough in the winter. Seth is a great employee. I've never had a better one. And he really wants to stay here. Like Scott says, as I'm getting up in age, I'm not going to be here much longer. So he would be a great asset to the town. He really would. Again, the revenue in Ludlow has increased by 23,603 in just a year. So that's, the people are really, there are those that are staying, enrolling their kids, they're here. So we have been just nonstop. I just feel a third employee is definitely needed at this time.
Anyone have any questions, comments on this? Board members, any, start
Well, I
with?
agree with Patty. I mean, the influx is there. I mean, I can see it. I see it at all my properties.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a needed position as well. Every time I've ever gone to the transfer station, it's busy.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely doubled in the busyness. There is no down days.
Patty, when you say not much longer, what do you mean by that?
Well, I'm 61 years old. I don't want to
Oh,
work
you are?
until I'm 70.
65?
Maybe. But he's really a quick learner. I have been working with him in the last month. I mean, he's doing almost as much as my assistant, and I'm trying to teach him both the paperwork. That's probably the toughest, but he's picking it up. I mean, he really wants to stay here and make a career out of it.
Well, there's really no workforce in Vermont. If we have the opportunity to take somebody that really wants to be here,
I know.
I would suggest we jump on it.
Absolutely. And he is a
Scott,
young.
Scott, how, so if this person, would this person be hired right now? Would they be hired in July? How's that gonna work?
Would make it a full-time position starting now. Because we're already pushing the limit on the quarterly average hours. So we'd move him right up into that slot for full-time immediately. And then in the memo I put together shows you, I think we can absorb those additional costs through the added 3 months through additional revenue for the final 3 months. It's just, we don't have it built into next year's budget. But I do project if the revenue stays the same through next year, that we would be able to absorb at least some of the costs of that.
What, I guess I would want to make sure that, there's communication amongst yourself and the department heads. I don't like doing this, and I don't think it's, we can't be getting into a habit. I understand if things change, but we got to be more forward thinking. And I would tell you that, I really think you need to try to find this in the rest of the budget for fiscal year, 2022. And if you can't, you should come back to us and let us know, because it just, the optics, I do not like the optics of us passing a budget and then adding on to something after less than, a month. It doesn't look good. And I think we as board members need to make sure that we understand that what we're voting on is basically changing the budget that was voted on by the voters, which I think is appropriate in this situation. But I just think we got to look forward, and it's just not a good situation to be in. It puts us in a tight spot, which the voters expect us to be. This isn't like an emergency type thing. We knew that people were going to be leaving, so I say that just to make sure that we're thinking forward. I'm in support of this. I go up there just like, both Justin and Scott. It's busy up there all the time. Patty does a great job, but I just think we just got to be cautious about that. So,
yeah, and I understand it's probably more my fault than anybody else's, because Patty has mentioned it to me before this, and my reluctance has been to trying not to add a full-time position and trying to keep costs down. And I just probably should have brought it to the select board earlier than this. So,
yeah, I would rather us maybe make those decisions in a, together, if you really think there's something there and we can try to help. But let's make sure you're trying to get this through in our budget that we have. If you can't, come back to us and tell us, you know, if you see that that's why we're gonna be over. You know, I'm sure you probably can, so it's a moot point, but if you're gonna be over, let's make sure we know that, hey, we're gonna be over this amount because we hired this person. Tell us, you know, this time next year, you'll know.
Sure.
So, okay. Do you want a motion on this, Scott?
A consensus would be fine, Bruce.
Okay. So I think got a consensus. I didn't hear from you, Brett or Heather, but
Yeah, I'm good with it, Bruce.
okay.
I'm also good with it.
Okay. All right, you got your consensus.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Patty.
Patty.
Thank
up the
you.
good- Keep up the good work up there.
Thank you very much.
Okay. We're gonna go on to appoint solid waste district representative and alternate.
Yeah, so I'm the representative and John Denner is the alternate, same as what we've been doing. I will mention that the Solid Waste District Executive Committee met today and we were receiving bids for a new contract and we'll probably end up going with Casella once again, but at a reduced price. So that should be good for all members.
Great. Good. What do you need for us?
Just to appoint myself and John as rep and alternate.
Okay. So we need a motion.
Yes.
I make a motion, Bruce, for the Scott and John.
Okay.
And I'll
Is there a
second.
Okay, second by Justin. Okay, and they just need me to sign it?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right, all those in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 All right,
Aye.
opposed? Okay, ayes have it. I'll stop in and sign it next day or so.
Okay.
Okay, liquor control license renewal.
Yes. So we've got this broken up, probably break it up to two different groups. One's Okemos. Okemo has 6 first class, 1 second class, 5 third class, and 8 outside consumptions. And then the others, 5 first class, 5 third class, and 4 outside consumptions. And Chief Billings has issued some comments on the Killarney outside consumption permit application with certain restrictions, which I think you have in your package. It's about no more than 12 tables with 2 to 4 seats each, and hours between noon and midnight.
Okay. All right, so we can break them up into, we can do let's do the Okemo first. So we need a motion.
Make a motion to approve all the Okemo liquor applications.
Okay. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, second by Justin. I'm going to recuse myself from voting. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, so the next group is, they aren't all listed, but there's 14, right?
Yes, that's right.
So, well, I'm gonna just read it so we know. Well, are these the ones, Mark, so we got Darcy's, Sam's, Mangiamo's, Dujour, and Killarney.
Correct.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And do you looking for us to vote separate on that outside consumption permit, or ULA does that?
No, I think you just approved it. So, I mean,
If we approve the license, we're
if
approving
you
it?
approve the license, you can approve it with that, with those terms.
Okay. All right, so we just need a motion on those that I just mentioned, and keeping in mind the Killarney's has the new outside consumption permit.
So move, Bruce.
Yeah, yeah, I'll second it. Mark, I noticed that you're on the call, Mr. Varespi.
Yes,
You already have an outside consumption permit for the front?
we do.
Awesome. That's my only question.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay. Did you have any more questions for us, Mark, or you just want to be there in case we had questions for you?
Just in case you had questions.
That's looking good.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor of the ones that were mentioned?
Aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, those are done. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you. Have a nice night, guys.
You too.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, V-Trans financial plan, Scott?
Yeah, so annually we have to certify that we spend X amount of dollars on roads, and in this case, it's in highways, and it's minimum $300, which we do. And you've got a list of the financial plan that we have to submit to V-Trans also, showing how much we've spent over the course of the year and income and expenses. And so if you guys are willing to renew that and sign that again, then I need a motion for that, Bruce.
And that needs to be signed by everybody, right?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, you guys have authorized one person to sign.
Yeah.
Normally in the past, yes, everybody would have to sign it.
Okay, so when Brett goes in, he can sign it.
That would be great.
All right. So we need a motion on what Scott just talked about.
All right, so moved.
Motion,
Yeah.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Second by Justin. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay. The approve and execute the note for the tandem truck.
Bruce, we have to do the certification of compliance to town road and bridges first.
Oh,
That's
do
C.
do all
Yeah,
three?
that's different. Yeah, that one's a little slightly different, that's all.
Okay, do we have to approve code and standards? So approve all three.
Yeah, so we're back. You just approved A and B, so now we just need to do C.
Okay. So we need a
Yeah.
motion to compliance for town and road bridge standards.
I'll make a motion. Yep.
Okay.
I'll
Get that,
second.
Alicia, did you get that? You're on mute, but Justin made the motion and Brett seconded. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, now we're on to the truck.
Okay, so the new truck that we just got, after a long waiting a long time, I should say, cost about 160,000. The bank note of 90,000 is what we're hopefully approving tonight. And then the remainder of about 70,000 come from the highway equipment capital. And to be honest with you, this one actually came in close to how we projected. So that was, usually it's kind of off one way or the other, but between the trade-ins and the cost and fit up, everything kind of came out, worked out pretty good.
Okay. Do you just need us to approve signing that?
Yes, and then I think we'll have to have somebody stop in. I'm not sure if we need all of you on the note or just one. Is you coming in, Bruce, in the next couple of days?
Yeah, Ula or Pam sent me an email and said, stop in. I think they were talking about this, so.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, just one person has to sign it.
Good. All right. Okay, is there a motion to approve the note?
Make a motion to approve the note.
Second. Second by Scott. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. All right, request for Farm Ridge homeowner association to take over their road.
So you have a copy of the letter that they sent in, requesting the town take over the road. You know, there's a state process to acquire roads, and if you so desire, and as there is to discontinue roads, this would be the first step. I spoke with Ron about the road, and he would not be in favor of the town taking over the ownership of it. So, and the maintenance. So, but anyways, that's his comment. So I'll leave the rest up to you.
I would agree with Ron. I mean, why would we?
Yeah.
What benefit would we have by, I mean, what would we gain by taking it over? Nothing.
No, I mean, you get these periodically, and you know, sometimes I've never seen one. I've been on the board over 20 years. I've never seen one, you know, taken. And it's got to have some real benefit to the town, like a, you know, it's going to help you do a throughway, you know, or, you know, a detour really that you might use something. But yeah, I don't see any benefit, and I probably agree. And I don't know, anyone else have any conversation or thoughts on it? So I think we're not even gonna vote. We're not gonna do anything. We're just gonna, you know, I would tell them, no, we're not doing it.
Okay, thank you.
You don't need a
No.
motion. Yeah.
No, in fact, I think they were, I don't know where they're going with this afterwards, but I think they needed the association to come to the town and get either accepted or rejected. And this is just good one way or the other for them.
How many people live up there? Do we know?
I don't have that, Justin.
How many houses up there, Brett? There's like 14 or 15?
Oh, there's all of that. I mean, there's got to be, I think I counted 8 or 9 full-time residents up there, as there is, not mentioning the second homes. And there might even be more in that now with everything's going on.
Yeah.
Is the road in utter disrepair or something, or is this just?
No.
No, it's just a big maintenance cost, but if you do it with them, there's going to be a line of them behind them, because there's a lot of other ones out there that are going to follow right in their footsteps if we do. So.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Next is possibly award bid for audit financial services.
So we put out our RFP for auditing services. We've been very happy with Kelling and Hillman, Middlebury, and they've been extremely helpful, and they've come to both boards and they've answered questions on the fly as we go along. I know Ula has been happy with them. I know Pam has been happy with them. And however, they were not as competitive as we had hoped in the bidding process. And you can see that in the bid results page. And the parent low bidder is the R.H.R. Smith Company. They have a long list of towns that they work with in and around the Northeast states. And locally, they had worked in the past with TRSU and Chester and Killington and Rockingham and others in the area. So I did check with those local people just to make sure they were happy with their work. Because sometimes they win a low bid and they're not satisfied with them and they're locked into a contract. But that's not the case. Everybody gave them, high thumbs up on the results. So that's the recommendation here, is to go with H Smith.
I'll make a motion to, award the bid to R.H.R. Smith for auditing services.
Second.
All right. Scott, or any further discussion? Scott, do we think we're getting is competitive by separating them out. It just seems like $18,000 for, the town and the village. I mean, yes, you got the wastewater, water and wastewater, but, the village is so small and they're $2,000 more than the town. But it just seems like a lot of money for, the two entities that we have here.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the accounting procedures nowadays, there's no shortcut based on size. So they've got to go through the same processes of a small operation versus a large one. And to be honest, I mean, I'm not as familiar with this company, but they're going to have to do the same thing from Maine as they do from Middlebury. So the location distance doesn't really matter either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess, Ula, you're okay?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's a big savings.
Yeah.
And I did talk to Cheryl Hammond and they were happy with them. Only one of the things was getting the reports on a timely basis that they needed to do the annual reports.
Yeah.
So we just have to specify to them that we need them by a certain date.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, well, we've had some discussion. All those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. Possibly approve and adopt local emergency management plan.
So the local emergency management plan replaced the local emergency operations plan, the LEOP, 2 years ago. But basically it's the same information, all the contact information in case of an emergency, phone numbers, addresses, who to turn to, and that type of thing. And we update it annually because people drop off and phone numbers change and things like that. So we update that. It's updated now, and all I need once you approve is your signature, Bruce.
Okay. All right, do you need a motion on this?
Yes, please.
Okay. Need a motion to adopt the emergency management plan.
Motion's moved.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Justin. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Okay, ayes have it. Okay, department head reports. I don't know if anyone has any questions, and we'll go right into the, if not, we'll go into the municipal managers update. Why don't you give your update, and then we can ask questions for all the whole thing.
Okay. First item is I wanted to update you on the listers and how things are going there. We held a meeting on the 23rd of March to go over all the difficulties that they're going to be facing here in the next several weeks, actually. And they're going to be sending out preliminary notices at the end of April for informal hearings. The informal hearings will be held through the end of April through May. They're going to, hopefully the abstract will be filed somewhere around June 4th. They'll hold final grievance hearings. They're going to be held in the auditorium with 3 stations and a tight schedule and traffic flow. And as you know, the listers usually just take evidence, take evidence, and they review later with the help of our consultants. And then the BCA would hear appeals after that process. And of course, you guys set the tax rate somewhere based on the finalized grand list somewhere around July 1st. So, they are struggling a bit with capacity. We've got one lister who's not coming in. We've got one in training and one who doesn't fully understand the whole system. Luckily, we've, agreed to spend some money and have the consultants help us out, and they are doing a good job that way. But it's something we're going to have to look at closely when we get through this process again as a board. Microtransit study is ongoing. You might remember that we received a grant to evaluate and look at possible options for after-hours transportation. We've got a committee right now, the Chamber, Regional Bus and Transit System, our Regional Planning Commission, and the town reviewing bids on consultant. Once we hire the consultant, that project will get going fairly quickly. The mountain bike trail system, Congressman Peter Welch put out a quick signal for applications. We had to get that in by March 31st with the help of our regional planning people. We got that in on time for this mountain bike system on the back 40. Each congressperson can submit and select up to 10 projects to be included on the federal fiscal year 2022 appropriations bill. So we're hoping and kind of excited to get that in on time. There's a really big groundswell in the community for this idea and this project, so we're hopeful that we'll get in. Our requested amount is somewhere around 50,000, a little 50,000. So I'm sure it's a drop in the bucket to some of these Congress people, but I'm hopeful that the idea really makes us a winning project. Community, we had a neighborhood meeting last week on the Commonwealth Ave FEMA project. That's, as you know, been going since 2013. So the neighborhood people joined us via Zoom, and the designer showed them our 70% design level design. And luckily, the neighbors were in favor of it and moving the project forward. So the consultant has to finish up that design for submittal to FEMA, which should happen the next 6 to 7 weeks. Again, this project, if this moves forward, there's another application for FEMA after this, if we get approved at this first one. And if things fell into place, construction would be 2 years after this summer. High Street, I just want to update you on that because I know the trustees have been very involved with this, and you might not be aware of the timeline. So their project, we've got all the funding in place on High Street. It's a nice little project for us. And they're going to start construction in mid-June with the finish by the end of October. And we're having a pre-construction meeting the third week of May. And like I mentioned, all funding sources are in place with state permits. That's about it. Oh, I have one more. Sorry, Bruce.
Go ahead.
I just want to remind the select board and any of the public that the Divided Sky application to the DRB is next Monday, a week from today. And board members can join in as interested parties. They had to create an interested party list, and you had to qualify to be an interested party. Otherwise, you watch it on YouTube. But select board members are eligible to be an interested party if you want to join in the meeting.
Okay. Any questions for Scott? Scott, is there a plan to, if these mountain bike trails go in, to cover maintenance costs, for these? Has that been talked about at all?
It hasn't yet, Bruce, but we do have a lot of support in the community for this project, regardless of whether we get the funding or not. I mean, the grassroots has started about fundraising and things like that. So there's several groups that want to support it and support the maintenance and the ongoing maintenance and the development of it. So I'm trying to hold them back a little bit till we can see if we get this funding. And if we don't, we go down one path. And if we do, we go down the other path. So I would say that there's going to be substantial support for ongoing maintenance.
Okay.
Scott, I've got a question for you about the dog park. I've had a couple of people asking me when it's going in or what's happening with it. Is there a way that we could put somewhere that it is in motion or give some people an update on our website?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
That'd be great.
What is the plan?
Springfield fencing is gonna come in when it dries out, which is, we're getting really close to that time. They've purchased materials already, and we've ordered signs for the park already. So that's basically where we're at. We're just waiting for the season to allow us to get in there and get going.
Okay.
Great job putting up the dog sign at the cemetery again. Much needed.
It's a busy place up there.
It is.
Yeah. I want to comment that I really appreciate you opening that. I think that was a really good thing to do for Easter, you know, and I know the cemetery commissioners had spoken about trying to open it as soon as you can, and it shows. I'm really glad you and your team did that, Scott.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll spread the word. I mean, Louis was one of the ones that made that suggestion. I think it was a great one.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad he did. So, okay. All right. Anything else for Scott on the updates or department head reports? We do need to get on that listers, have a little more listers discussion probably next month. All right. Other business. Anyone have any other business they'd like to talk about, bring in front of the board? Okay.
Oh, I do have something, Matt.
Okay, Scott, go ahead.
If you go down Pleasant Street, before you get to Pleasant Street Extension, before you get to the bridge, the town put out a wastebasket right there on that little piece of property before the bridge. And it's tipped over and filled with baggies of dog waste. And I believe I was told that the town put that out, Scott. Is that true? For walkers?
I was out there with Brett the other day, last week, and I didn't see the trash barrel, but you may be right, and I just missed it.
Yeah,
I'll look into it tomorrow, Scott.
Look at that tomorrow. It's there. The trash bag's there, and it has all color little baggies in it. And I gotta believe it. The barrel's there too. It's just at the edge of the bank, ready to go into the river.
Okay, we'll take care of it tomorrow.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. I did mention to Scott that, you know, we need to look to follow the guidelines of the state, you know, and try to get back into person, you know, as soon as we can. I'd like to have a shoot for, you know, the 1st of July, because we're not going to get in before May. But he's going to keep us informed, and, you know, when we get some direction from the government, from the state, and then also we all feel comfortable, you know, with doing it, but, you know, no change at this point.
Yeah.
All right. So next meeting is May 3rd, which is, we won't be meeting before Green Up Day, but more information will be coming out on Green Up Day, which is the 1st of May, Saturday. All right. Brett had to go to a power outage, so but he's got some orders to sign, and we're gonna go. We're gonna need a motion to go into executive session for real estate.
I make a motion to go into executive session
Okay.
and end this meeting.
For real estate.
For real estate, yes.
Okay. All right. Second by Heather. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Just so the board knows, and Scott, so you are aware, I will more than likely not be at the May 3rd select board meeting. I apologize.
No problem. All right, Alicia, someone will get back to you with Justin now. He's the clerk. We'll be getting back to you with whatever we come out of executive session. So Eric, how's this going to work?
Okay, so first we got to make sure that nobody that doesn't need to be here is here, and then
All right, everybody, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
See you, Alicia.
I will be the last one to leave, and then you just keep